Welcome to another episode of Blocks and Barriers with me, Tracy, the health coach. I can't believe this is episode 30 episodes. So first of all, I just want to say thank you if you've been watching and tuning in. Thank you so much. And thank you for subscribing. I'm seeing the number of subscribers is going up. So thank you so much. As always, yes, please do share, do subscribe. And again, the reason why is when I post the episodes on social media, you may not get to see what I'm up to. And it's important for me, for you to get the tips and manage your health, manage your lifestyle in a way that brings you joy, excitement, despite what may be going on around you. And even if you have an underlying condition which is not curable, but there is a way around to get you to be healthier and happier. So today I wanted to look at how can we improve the results we had in January into February, or if you didn't get the results you wanted in January, then how can you improve that in February? We're in the first week of February, and depending on where you are, you may be excited that you've achieved your goals. And if that's you, then well done. Continue in that momentum. Write down what's worked for you, because that's your formula, that's your success formula. So keep it going and keep going and keep going and keep going. And if, on the other hand, you are not happy with January results, you made resolutions, you haven't met them, or you haven't met them the way you wanted to, then don't be afraid. Again, I have the solution for you. So today we'll just be talking about how do we overcome the hurdles that we faced in January, so you have a prosperous, healthier February. So I thought we'd look at some of the barriers that may have prevented you or that may have sabotaged your progress. So in the previous episode, I think it was episode 25 or 26, I shared about different barriers that can come into place when you're trying to achieve your health goal or trying to make changes in your lifestyle. Maybe you found yourself the cravings just took over you and you are not able to give in. And sometimes the craving may have come from something else. So in the previous episode to this, I was talking about sleep and getting good, nutritious meals starting from your first meal. So I know some of us, we do intermittent fasting. So your first meal needs to be nutritious. What happens is, if it's not nutritious, if you're not getting a balanced meal with all the food groups, then that means later on you're more likely to get cravings. So maybe one of the reasons you didn't meet your goal is the cravings were just so much and you gave in to them. And usually when we have cravings, we don't go and seek out healthy snacks and healthy options. We reach out for junk and sugary stuff. So sometimes maybe the cravings was one of the biggest reasons that held you back from achieving what you wanted to achieve. And sometimes maybe you are not feeling hungry, so you just kept eating. And again, that could be due to your sleep, where, as I mentioned in the previous episode, when you don't get enough sleep, then there are certain hormones that are released so that your body knows, okay, we are full now or we are hungry now. So if you're not getting sleep, proper sleep, then those hormones can be disrupted. So maybe because you are not getting sleep, then now later in the day, you're also not eating healthy, balanced meal. Then now when the cravings come, it's just so intense and you give into it. So sometimes there can be some physical barriers that are preventing you from getting to your goal. Or sometimes you set a goal, but it was so boring. you didn't enjoy it, or you dreaded it, or you just didn't look forward to it. So then you may have started, and then soon after, you gave up because it was so boring. Or sometimes you were going through things in January. A lot of people had a lot of losses in January, or maybe you've lost your job and you are depressed and you are stressed and you are anxious. How are you going to pay your bills? The cost of living is continuing to increase. I just received an email from my water company saying the prices of water is going up. So imagine if you've got all these things going on around you, you had loss, you've lost your job. Maybe you've been working from home for like 5 years, and then now they want you to go back to the office. So there were certain changes out of your control, which affected your emotions. And then now you're not able to work on your goals as you'd have liked to. So you can have emotional barriers that are preventing you from getting to where you want to go. Or sometimes maybe you don't have support. So motivational barriers like not having people around you who are supportive, maybe in your family, they just have all sorts of carbs at the dinner table. You're trying to reduce your carbs, but there they are. There's potato, there's mac and cheese, and they're all delicious, but it's just so tempting. And then, of course, sometimes you give in, and especially when you have stress at work, then now you're stress eating. And then on top of that, you get home and then you find the meals are not as healthy as you'd like. And then that's how your progress gets sabotaged. So another reason, and I've mentioned already, if work is already stressful, maybe a practical barrier is you're trying to eat healthy and live healthy, go for your walks after work, but then you find work is so stressful. You're already busy, and January can be a very busy time for many people, and you find that you're busy, then the workload just increases. Maybe someone has resigned, maybe someone is off sick, and also January, it may be more stressful because in December you've been relaxed, you've been with your family, you've taken time to just enjoy yourself. So maybe it's not that January is busy, but it's just that change from very relaxed to not as relaxed as before. So you can have practical barriers like those that may have sabotaged your progress in January. Again, environmental barriers like just having people around you who are not supportive. I know I've mentioned that. Or maybe your work involves a lot of travel, and when you're traveling, you're no longer in your routine. So that messes up your routine where you'd have done your walks, where you'd have meal prepped, where you'd have just had some nice downtime to relax and have me time. Now you don't have that in place. Or sometimes maybe just habits, just habitual barriers. Like at the end of the day, you're used to having your glass of wine to relax, but you don't realize by having your glass of wine and another one and another one, that's going to creep up and affect your blood sugar levels. So if you're someone who is trying to maintain your blood sugar levels because you're diabetic, or you've been told you're pre-diabetic, there are certain habits that you've already established that may be, again, sabotaging your progress. So what's the solution? The solution is to identify what can you do? Because already when I've been giving you all these barriers, maybe you've already started to think, what can I, the travel was too much, or my family is the barrier, or work has really been stressful, so I need to find stress relaxation techniques. So the first thing to do is just ask yourself, what can you do? Then another important thing is to identify what matters to you, what really matters to you. So if you say, I like to have fun and fun is important to me, then if you look at your day-to-day schedule, is there fun in there? So on a Monday, was there fun? No. Tuesday, you didn't have fun. Wednesday, you didn't have fun. So you're leaving the weekend to have all the fun that you want, but then you're not incorporating that in your day-to-day schedule, so that on your day-to-day schedule, at the end of the day, you're exhausted, you're tired, you're stressed. So with all those emotions, you will not find the motivation to do something for your health or for your goals. So if you really say that fun is important to you, then it's about how do you create fun on every single day, because then when you do that, you'll then overcome that feeling that, oh, I don't feel like exercising today. But then if you have fun, then you're like, you know what, let me just go for a 5 minute walk or 10 minute walk. So identify what's important to you and make sure there's some evidence on each day, so that now when it comes to your health goal, it's not only, okay, I want to exercise more. What matters to you is, I want to be healthy, I want to be energized. So then on every day, on each day, you find a way to be healthy. So it may look like, okay, I'll just have a vegetable, I'll add a vegetable to my lunch. I never have vegetable in my lunch, so I'll add vegetable, and there you are. You've added something to your health, because your health is important. On Tuesday, you'll just spend 5 minutes in nature, just, relaxing, and then there you are. You've done something for your health, because your health matters to you. So if you do things like that, align your actions with what matters to you, then that's another way of overcoming the barriers to getting to what you want. And another important thing to say is, our actions are very important signs of what we believe in. So if you're saying health matters to you, but if you look at your actions on a Monday, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, throughout the week, if there's no evidence to say you've done something for your health, then it doesn't show that you believe that your health matters to you. So if you look at it that way and align your actions to what you believe and what matters to you, then you can overcome those periods of time when you don't find yourself motivated. Then another way to overcome these barriers is look at your strengths. This is not the first time you've had a challenge. When you've had challenges before, what strengths in you have helped you overcome those challenges? So if you're someone who is disciplined, how can you bring discipline to your health goal? If you're someone who is a planner, how can you bring planning into your health goal? If you're someone whose strength is encouraging, or encouragement, you're just someone who encourages others, then how can you encourage yourself to do your health goals? So you can tap into your strength and use those to boost you up on those moments where you don't have the motivation to do what you want to do. Another way of improving your motivation or overcoming the things that are preventing you from getting to your goal is look at your self-talk. How are you talking to yourself? Do you really believe you can lose weight? Or are you saying to yourself, you know what, I come from a family where we're all big, and, we're just big, we're just big people, and we're just, I'm always going to be a big person. So what are you telling yourself? Maybe just sit down. Yes, you put your realistic goal, you've put your specific goal, it's measurable, it's achievable, it's realistic, but sometimes what are you telling yourself in your mind and in your head? So if you can look at that, your self-talk, then that can help you identify, okay, besides my specific and realistic goal, I also need to work on my self-talk. So yes, we have big people in our family, but it doesn't mean I need to stay that way. So your self-talk is very important. What are you telling yourself? Sometimes you could be in need of maybe just learning some more. Maybe you've been trying to exercise and you're not seeing the weight loss. So maybe go back and see, is exercise the only form of losing weight, or is there something else I could do to lose weight, and then just find one thing that works for you, because sometimes you can go researching and you'll just go and read lots of information, but you won't put it into action. And remember, I think it was in episode 25 or 26 where I said when you get information, it's about a relay race. So you get the information, put it into action. Get information, put it into action. If you're just getting information, then you'll get overwhelmed because where do you even start to put this information into action? So yes, go and do some research. Is exercise the only thing to do? Or what can I do for menopause? Or what can I do to reduce my blood sugar levels? Then when you find one tip, put it into action. Find a tip that resonates with you. Find one that you can easily put into your schedule already, and then put it into action. Another thing you may need to do is, if you've tried everything, you've tried and you've put your specific plan, you've put it measurable, you thought you put it in an exciting way, but still you haven't achieved. You've gone and you researched, okay, yes, I could do this for my gut health, then that will support my mental health, then, I'll feel better, my mood will improve, then now I can get the motivation to go for a walk. If you've tried everything and still nothing is doing, then your next course of action may need you to seek help and support. Now, there are so many support groups out there, and just think of it this way. For example, if we take Alcoholics Anonymous, it's not to say that you can't do something on your own, but there's so much power when you have support around you. So you can have support in different ways. So it could be in the form of a support group. It could be in the form of your family or friends where you can support each other. Let's do something together. And that's the support that you may need. Or you may need more support in that you may need to work with a healthcare professional, maybe someone like me, and this is how it would look like. So some people may say, you know what, January was so busy and I just didn't have time. So then what we'll do is we'll look at your time schedule from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. How are you spending your time? Where is your time going? And then even just something like looking at your apps. They will tell you how much time you've spent on TikTok, how much time you spent on Instagram, and lo and behold, you spent 3 hours on Instagram. So if you're saying you don't have 30 minutes, just 30 minutes to walk, or even if you wanted to start 20 minutes or 10 minutes, then now you can target, instead of your social media scrolling, you get 20 minutes from that time you'd have spent on scrolling, and there you are. You found the time. Or if you're thinking, you know what, I've been eating healthy, Tracy, I just don't know why I'm not losing weight, then what we would do together is we look at we would do a food and mood diary. So we look at what you've been eating from morning till evening, and we'll also look at what mood are you eating in. So maybe you've been stressed. They've told you you now need to go to work at the office. You've been working from home for 5 years, and now you're stressed. So now you can see, okay, I've been eating cakes and donuts in the afternoon. Why? And maybe that's when you usually have meetings with your manager to say, you're trying to figure out a schedule of how you can come back to the office, or maybe that's when you have team meetings and that's when you're stressed. So that's when you're eating. So then we can identify, okay, what can we do with the stress? So what relaxation techniques can we put into place before your meeting? What relaxation techniques can we do during the meeting and after the meeting? Maybe what healthy snacks can you carry? And then that way you're dealing with the stress, and then you're not having to reach out for the junk. So that's how it would look like. And even sometimes when we do it together, my client will say, before I've even said anything, you know what, I am eating too much snacks, or I'm not even having protein for breakfast, protein for lunch. I only have protein for dinner. So then that's why you're getting cravings. When you have protein, it's broken down slowly throughout the day. So when you're missing proteins out, you're missing on this. Proteins are broken down slowly, which means you'll be fuller for longer. So when you're not having your proteins, then that's when you'll feel hungry. That's when the cravings will be more. So to reduce the cravings, you have more protein and then you'll feel fuller for longer, then you don't have to snack. So we look at things like that together. Or sometimes you may think, oh gosh, Tracy, I don't even know where to start. So this is where, again, together we look at, okay, let's just look at a few areas in your life, because this is the thing about our health. Our health impacts every area of our life, and our life impacts every area of our life impacts our health. So maybe we look at your health, we'll give it a score. Maybe you'll say, you know what, Tracy, my health, I think I'll give it a score of 7 out of 10. It's not too bad. But when it comes to me time, I'll give it a score of 4 out of 10. Or when it comes to fun, I'm not having fun. January has just been busy. February is the same. So I'll give fun 2 out of 10. So sometimes when we're trying to make changes in our health, we may want to go with the logical path, which is eat healthy, sleep well, which is true. But sometimes maybe if we start with the fun aspect, you'll have fun, you feel good. When you feel good, you do good. When you feel good, then that's when you'll be like, you know what? Let me eat healthy, or let me just let me work on my carbs, or let me just go for a walk. Then that way you'll feel inspired and motivated to keep going. So maybe for someone like you, it may need you to start with somewhere illogical, as I call it. So starting with fun will lead you to feel good. When you feel good, now you'll be motivated to go for your walk. Now you'll be motivated to sleep earlier so you can get quality sleep, so that you're energized. So then it's a nice positive domino effect. But we've started from an unusual place like fun. Or it may look like, I mentioned before, how do you cope with stress? So it may mean finding relaxation techniques that work for you, because the honest truth is there are so many relaxation techniques out there, but do all of them suit you? Do all of them fit with your values and fit with your beliefs? So it's just about finding what relaxation techniques will work for you and work for your beliefs. And then we schedule that into your day, regardless of how busy it is. But we find a way, even if it's just taking deep breaths, or if it just means just going for a walk, or just taking a break, taking small breaks in between your working day, that can just help. So looking at things like that will help. Or just finding things that make you smile. When you find things that boost your spirit, that make you smile, then that can bring that motivation to do more for your health goals. So yes, work is stressful. Yes, you have to go back to the office after working from home for years and you're not happy about it. But what can you find during this period that will make you smile? Maybe you like knitting, maybe you like dancing, maybe you like poetry, maybe you like writing, maybe you like blogs and doing videos, or something creative, just something to make you smile. So these are some of the things we would look at together. But all the while, we're also looking at your progress. So yes, you're achieving your goal, but what else is changing? So together, we would look at your health score. At the beginning, your energy was like down to 1, but now you've been sleeping well. We started with the fun. So you're having fun, you feel good. Then now, because of that feeling of feeling good, you're sleeping better. Why? So we started with a different path. We started with fun. You feel good. So now that's led you to do a bit more exercise. That's led you to feel good. And then that's inspired you. You know what? I really want to work on my energy levels or on my sleep. So then you looked at your schedule, your Instagram analytics, and it told you you're spending 2 hours. So then you found time to do your walks. Then you've also cut down. So instead of spending 2 hours, maybe you've gone down to an hour and a half. Then that means you can wind down, sleep earlier. Then now the next day you wake up feeling refreshed. So all these will have an impact on your health. So then you see your blood sugar levels are going down. So then you don't have to use as much insulin as before. So, or now as a result of being consistent, maybe now where you are pre-diabetic, now your sugar levels have gone back to a healthy level. So then the next thing for us to do together is to create a plan so that you can sustain what you've achieved. So the next steps is, okay, we've worked on the fun, we've worked on your sleep, your blood sugar levels are now decreased. So how can we maintain this progress? So this is what we would do together. This is how it would look like when you get support from me. And I remember the first episode, my goal is to get you to this point. My goal is to get you from a place where you don't know what you don't know, meaning you set your New Year's resolution goals, but you didn't know you had to set them in a specific way, in a measurable way, in an achievable way, in a realistic way. So through the episodes of the podcast or through working together, then you get to find out, oh, actually, I didn't know I can start with fun. Instead of starting with exercise, instead of starting with sleep, I can start with fun. So then you move into the next step where now you know more than you did, and then now you're putting it into practice. So the last episode, I was talking about sleep, and now you know it's ideal to move everything from your bedroom so that your bedroom is just sleep and intimacy. So now you make sure your laptop, your working, your reading is done in a different room. The only thing happening in your bedroom is sleep and intimacy. So you put that into action. Then now it also comes to a place where, okay, yes, you've been thinking, you've been planning, but now you move into this place of unconscious incompetence where you're just doing things on a natural. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to plan. And now you know what you need to know and you're putting it into action. Not only putting it into action, but it becomes second nature. So the example I can give is 2 months ago, I went on a cruise. And, maybe before I'd have had to have planned and say, okay, what can I do when it's mealtime? Because I know they'll have all sorts of things there. But now when you know what to do, you've been putting it into action, meaning you've been putting that information you've been reading about, you've been listening to, you're putting into action. Then now you move into a stage where things just become second nature. So when I went on the cruise, it was just, I didn't have to plan, okay, I need to be strategic with my meals. No, when I was at the buffet, I'll just pick up the healthy stuff. It wasn't an issue. It wasn't boring because I was choosing things I like. And I still had my treats. I love my cake and custard, but I was still able to have it because I know I've had a healthy meal. So things just become second nature. And I enjoyed the cruise without having to worry, oh, I've gained weight. Oh, when I go back, I'll have to do detox and lose weight. No, you can live a healthier life just by small choices you take each day. Put that information into action, and then you find where you used to plan, where you meal prepped before, it just comes second nature. So then you find your February is more productive, is more enjoyable, and most of all, you're achieving your results because you're doing it in a different way. You found the support, you found someone to help you identify your blind spots, you found someone to help you look at how you can put the information that you know into action, and not just action, but enjoyable action, and action that even when your schedule changes, which it will, because life will happen, you can still put something into place. And this is how you maintain, this is how you sustain, and this is how you live a healthier, happier life. So we've come to the place where you identify what you need to do. How can you take one step forward, just one small step forward? So with everything I've said, if you're looking back at your progress in January, the first question I'd like to ask you is, what do you think sabotaged your progress in January? What do you think came in the way? Then the second thing is, what can you do better this month? Is it stress management? Is it creating a routine? Is it reducing your social media time? What do you feel you can do better this month? And as always, when will you start working on this? So yes, you're going to reduce your screening time, your social media screening, or maybe you're going to just start having fun. So when will you start? So this episode is being released on a Sunday, so you can still do something on a Sunday. You can do something on a Monday for fun. So when are you going to start what you want to work on in terms of not just the day, but what time? So is it after work or during lunchtime? You want to just go for a walk? You just want to sit in nature? When will you start? What day, what time, and how often? So you want to have fun. So how often do you want to have fun in the week? Do you want to do it every day? Do you want to do it 3 times a week? But remember, just somewhere realistic and achievable. And remember, the goal is for you to be healthier, to be happier, to enjoy yourself, and lead a more fulfilled life. So if you're thinking, you know what, I just need some support, reach out, scan the QR code, let's talk, let's find ways that you can create a realistic and enjoyable plan this February so you can be more successful in the months to come. And remember, the goal is for you to be healthier, to be happier, to enjoy yourself, and lead a more fulfilled life. I hope this has been helpful. If it has, share your comments below or reach out, send me a message. I love getting your messages, and share with someone else who may be struggling. Maybe work on it together. And again, yes, do feel free to reach out and we can have a conversation, just a 20-minute conversation, see what was the issue in January, what held you back. Then we can create a plan that works for you, that will help you so that you know each day you're doing something small, and these small things, they build up. So feel free to reach out, and I wish you a super February and a super successful one. And don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.